Hello guys, welcome to A to Z Tech. In the last video, we looked into what is Async Await and how we can implement Async Await in a Xamarin application. We also looked into what are the problems that we face by exception handling. We use Async Await and we tried to resolve the exception handling problem as well. In this video, we will be looking into async void. Async void means the method is asynchronous type and the result type, return type is void. It means method is returning void. Here, three types of signature we are looking into it. So first one is async task T. It means here task T type of return type. It means task type of return type we are getting, but we are providing the return type also there. It means whether it's string, list, or whatever be, we are providing that here. In the second case, what we are providing is async task. It means here we are getting the task, we are getting the acknowledgement as from that particular task, and we are not providing the return type. That is, we are not providing a string, list, or whatever be the type of return that we are getting. So we will not be getting return any value from there, but we will be getting the task from there. A task type we are getting. So here the function returns task which has no product, but we can still await and can know when it finishes its execution. In this case, we are not returning any type of data. We are not returning any data, but here what we can do is that we can await. When we are calling async await function here, then when we will call this particular function, then we can use await, and what we can do is that we will have the idea when this function completes its execution. But in this case, what will happen is that we will not be having any idea when the function will get executed, because the return type, because here the return type is void. It is not giving any return type. We have no way to know when the task finishes. So now let's see further with the help of a code example. Now this is the example for Xamarin application. This is a code example. So in this particular function, we have taken a calculate function and the type is void. It is not async task type of return type. Here return type is async void. So here what we are doing is that I am just making here error. I am just raising an error, just trying to raise the, in order to get the error, I have made the denominator 0. So whenever it will divide a by b, then it will return error. So exception will be raised from here. And here what I am trying to do is that, sorry, here what I am trying to do is that I am just calling the function from the service. The function from the service I am calling. So here what will be happening is that you will be getting one error, one exception. So ideally the exception is raised over here, and exception will be getting over here. So what will happen is that when we're trying to execute the error, sorry, when we are trying to execute the code, so here it's executing. Now you can see we got the exception here, and we try to move ahead. So what happened is that your code got broken. Your code got broken just because of denominator 0. It means whatever with the exception raised, just due to that your code got broken. So what next that we will try to do is that we will try to handle exception over here in the view model. We will try to handle the exception. It means we will just try to use try catch. We will just try to use try catch over here. Okay, now you can see that we have used try catch over here, and now I will be putting the breakpoint over here, and I will be seeing whether this exception is being raised or not, and why. If it's not raising, then what is the reason behind it. Now I just have to bypass this one. Now you can see that this exception was not raised. here we didn't got the this breakpoint did not hit. We can see that this breakpoint did not hit. What is the reason behind it? The reason is the async void. Reason is the async void, because this one is not returning any type. This one is not returning anything. It is not returning anything. It means this function, the caller here can never know when the task got completed. That caller has no idea of the task being called, since it has no idea of the whatever be happening in the service. It has no idea of whatever is happening in the service. So exception cannot be raised here in the case in async in view model. That's only reason. Exception was not raised over here. So in order to avoid it, we need not to use async void. We need not to use async void in our methods. We just have to avoid async void. So in order to raise that particular exception, what we can do is that we can do here task type of return type, and what next that we can do is we are getting async task type of return type, and here we need to stop it, right? Because we'll have to execute it once again, then we have to save over here. And here we have to, since now this is the async task type of return type, so uh, here what exactly we need to do is that we need to remove these all things, and here we will have to uh, now we have used try catch like this. We have used we need not to use try catch over here. Try catch is not required over here basically. Okay, because what we can do is that we can raise the exception like this. So what is here? That is task dot run. Task dot run we can use here, right? We can use await over here because the return is task type of return type, and we are just calling the method. But here new thing that you can see is continue with. Continue with, basically it defines that what will happen when this one got executed, when this one got this execution got completed. When this execution got completed, then here you can raise the exception, or you can execute another task as well. So here what we are doing is that we are just getting the exception if any case exception has occurred. So here task dot configuration continue as sorry task dot continuation option dot only on faulted we have taken. It means this will giving the exception, this will be executing only if we will get any break, if we will get any exception raised from this particular method. So this is the way that we can use async await. We can sorry if this is the way that we can return the exception when we are not having any return type. We have not any have any return type, so we can take just task type of return type. Because what is happening over here is that what exactly is happening over here is that since we have taken task type of since we have taken task type of return type here since we have taken task type of return type here, so it this function knows when the task got completed its execution. When the task got completed its execution, then this function basically it knows. That's the only reason it can raise the exception over here. But when we use void, then the caller doesn't know when the exception raised, because the caller cannot know when the task got completed. That's the only reason that we have to avoid async void, because in when while using the async void, if the called function got broken, then the caller have no idea. I think you understand the concept. And if you I think you understand the um, I think you understand the concept. Thanks for watching.